So guys, Game Extra here back in the video. Today's video is what if Ezekiel won Total Drama Island. So what conditions would have to be followed in order for Ezekiel to actually win Total Drama Island? So first of all, the version we are using Ezekiel from Action and World Tour is that Ezekiel, even though he's socially awkward, does seem a lot more experienced than he was on Island, as he never says his comments after that. And going through the challenge, Ezekiel actually jumped. Ezekiel was very helpful in this challenge, and he wasn't going to go home. And everyone was giving out about Courtney. So what I'm saying, Ezekiel does not do or say anything which causes him to get eliminated. This means Courtney is voted off because of her attitude and how she was annoying everybody on her team. Episode 3, this is the Big Sleep Challenge. I think Ezekiel will be pretty good at this. Heather would still steal Eva's MP3 player. Heather still steal the MP3 player. I will make a video of Eva winning. Heather still steals the MP3 player. Zeke wouldn't affect Eva getting eliminated. So Eva loses it. Her MP3 player, and because of that, they vote her off. Episode 4 is Dad Bro. So Duncan still goes to sleep. I've got Izzy and Katie still swap teams. Sorry, no, that's right. Noah's lazy, and because of that, he doesn't compete. Duncan usually wakes up because of Courtney, but I think Ezekiel, being Ezekiel, would just walk up to Duncan and wake him up. Duncan would say, "You better have a good reason by waking me up." I think Bridget or Jeff could referee the situation. Duncan and Harold win for their team, and because of that, Noah gets voted off like he does originally because he doesn't compete. Episode 5 won't change because this is where the talent show, DJ, Jeff, and because Courtney's not here, somebody else will have to do it. I probably think they get Jeff. Jeff breaks his skateboard. Harold would still do his beatboxing after Bridget pukes everyone. And in the end, Heather gangs up on Justin and he gets voted off. Episode 6. Now we get some changes. Because Katie and Sadie get lost, Ezekiel would notice that they get lost and would tell the others we should go find them. Because of this, Katie would still come back and the Bass would lose. And I think the votes would probably go Ezekiel's way. But because he noticed and actually tried in the challenge to help them, where those two were just missing for the entire challenge, they still vote off Katie. Episode 7. This is Phobia Factor. Phobia Factor. So, the points. Trent gets a point for his mind fear. Cody fails the time bomb. Beth gets a point for her bugs. Gwen gets a point for be buried alive. Heather gets a point for sumo wrestler. Izzy and Owen both get a point for flying. Lashana fails spiders, and Lindsay gets a point for bad haircuts. Sadie gets a point for bad haircuts. Harold fails the ninjas. Jeff fails the ring cloud. Bridget fails being outdoors 6 hours. Tyler fails the chickens, despite the fact he does it originally. Duncan passes his cardboard fear after all. It's just a piece of cardboard. I think someone like Bridget could persuade him to do it, or Zeke. DJ could do his fear with the snake. Now, we don't know what Ezekiel's fear actually is. And I had to think about this for a second. I think Ezekiel's fear would be humiliation, or being an outsider. And Chris would say, similar to Courtney, that if Ezekiel does his fear, he will double the points and their team would win. And I think Ezekiel could actually realistically do his fear, as he's friends with Harold and likely Tyler at this point. So Zeke's able to do his fear, and they lose. So Heather does her fear, which means Lashana and Cody are in trouble. So, the points. Gwen and Trent vote Cody. Heather gets her alliance to vote for Lashana. Lashana votes for Cody. Owen votes for Lashana. Izzy votes for Lashana, which means Lashana is going home. So Lashana's out. Episode 8 is up the creek, and this is basically where they have to go in the boats. So Ezekiel decides in this episode that he'll make an alliance with Harold and Tyler, and he goes to them in the cabins. He says, "I know Duncan has his old trio guy alliance, but we need to make our own alliances to counter them." Tyler and Harold agree after realizing they're kind of the odd ones out, even though Tyler thinks he's cool with Lindsay. But Tyler gets what he means, and he's not really in that group. So Trent and Lindsay like the original. Cody and Gwen, Izzy and Owen, at least Heather and Beth. It would be Bridget and Sadie, as Bridget's annoyed with Jeff for his gift. Jeff and DJ. Zeke and Harold, that leaves Tyler and Duncan. Like in the original, Harold would still burn the Ols. This would cause Izzy to still get them the idea to swim back to camp. Tyler would push his team, and Izzy gets chased down by the CRMP. Episode 9 is Paintball Deer Hunter, and this is where things get interesting because the Bass have more people. Zeke is obviously here, so Duncan was a deer, DJ was a deer, Jeff was a hunter, Harold's a hunter, Bridget's a deer, hunter. Tyler and Ezekiel are the only two people that wasn't here, and they end up becoming deer. Trent was a deer, Gwen was a deer, Cody was a deer, and Heather is a deer. Everyone else is hunters. Beth would still get the barbecue chips, and because of this, Cody would still get removed from the game after being mauled by a bear, meaning that Cody would vote for Heather, but Cody still gets mauled by a bear. Episode 10 is the cooking challenge. In the cooking challenge, we have things that are different. So Duncan and Jeff are still messing with Harold. Heather gets locked in the freezer, and Trent gets knocked out. So the cooking would be Jeff and Bridget. It would be Zeke and Harold, DJ and Duncan, and Sadie would be with Tyler. In the end, I think Owen would still eat the ribs. Beth would rebel against Heather, and because of this, her tiki statue is revealed. Heather saves herself once again, and Beth gets voted off. Episode 11 is where things get interesting, and this is where, first of all, this is basically doing the climbing challenge. It would be Heather and Gwen, DJ, Duncan. In the end, Heather would get the point. The blowfish would be Trent and Lindsay, and of course, Jeff and Bridget. Trent still gets poisoned like he does originally sent to the infirmary. Blind William tells Sadie, Tyler, and Owen and Lindsay. In the end, I have to give the point to Lindsay and Owen. I think they were doing a job in this challenge. And Bridget, in the end, Harold gets the point as Lindsay tells Heather. And Heather jumps too early, so she gets sent to the infirmary as well. So it's Owen and Gwen, Zeke and Duncan and DJ. In the end, DJ sort of masked up, the Gophers win, and that's that. Zeke is annoyed that DJ gets away with it and the fact he cost him the challenge. They get Sadie in their little alliance and tells him to vote for DJ because he had his mask lift open. Even though Ezekiel thinks DJ's a nice guy, he still costs us the challenge. Duncan says to the guys we need to mess with Harold for another week, and Sadie isn't obviously a target, so they decide to vote for Tyler. Tyler, Zeke, and Harold eventually go to Bridget and say we need to vote off DJ as he cost us the challenge. Bridget would say that although she likes DJ, she thinks he's right. In the end, in a 5-3 vote, DJ is eliminated. This completely shocks Jeff and Duncan, and can't believe that Bridget, one of the people that was going to vote for Tyler, ended up flipping. Episode 12 is where basics training begins, and this is where we have to do the basics training. So Harold would still do it. So the first part is lifting the canoe over your head. Lindsay tags out. The second part is the obstacle course. Heather wipes out. Well, not Trent. Wipes out. Sadie would give up at this point. Bridget wipes out, and Tyler will be able to do it. Harold is forced to quit. I read in the Stranger World essay. Trent would fail, and honestly, Tyler. These are the final 6 on the logs. Owen would still fall. I think Zeke would fall. Heather, then it's down to Duncan and Jeff. Gwen still wins that challenge, so we can bring everyone else back. Once again, the Killer Bass will win this challenge. So we have to decide who gets voted off. So Ezekiel is a 3-person alliance, and Bridget decides that I think it's right and they need to vote for Harold. Harold, being Harold, decides that he's going to rig. These two vote for Harold. Bridget votes for Harold. Sadie probably votes for Harold. These three vote for Duncan. Harold rigs the vote so Duncan gets eliminated instead of Courtney, as Courtney's not here. Episode 13 is where things get interesting. Harold rigs the votes against Duncan, meaning that Duncan goes home. Episode 13 is where they have to do extreme torture, and it would be Trent and Ezekiel. Trent gets sent to the infirmary. Then, actually no, he doesn't this time because DJ doesn't push him out. Ezekiel probably gets that point. Then we have the Moose, it's Jeff and Owen. I think Jeff will get that point in the end. Finally, it's Harold, Lindsay, Gwen's driving, and Bridget. Harold will end up wiping out after Heather's top comes off, which in the end, I think Ezekiel would even agree we gotta get rid of Harold. Zeke is the only person probably not getting rid of Harold. Bridget and Jeff and Sadie vote for Harold. Tyler ends up voting for Harold, so Harold is out. Girls and boys, we now have the bunch of disgustingness, which is where things get a bit interesting. So, episode 14 is the eating challenge, and Owen actually kills it for his team. Zeke realizes they're actually going to win this new quite well and respect the girls, as they actually do very well. Bridget obviously would stay with the same strategy, and Sadie would be alright here. This is where Ezekiel and Jeff and Ezekiel decide that they'll do the Guys Alliance in this episode. Episode 14, other than that, though, it's an elimination. Bye bye Bass, bye bye Gophers. Now we're at the merge. The merge cast. Ezekiel made it to merge. Boys and girls. So, the two characters need to come back, which I think were perfect. Eva and Izzy. No pain, no game is where the game begins, and obviously Ezekiel. This is where Jeff and Zeke, Tyler decide to make the Guys Alliance, and in the end, I don't think any of these guys, maybe Tyler could win this, but either way, everyone's just going to vote off Eva. It's very close. I think Eva wins immunity because LaShawn is not here. In the end, Heather needs to try and get rid of someone else. So Heather can manipulate Lindsay, Izzy, and Sadie on her side. And she sees Gwen and Bridget. And possibly Owen, meaning that she has 5 votes. She's worried that Lindsay's too close to Tyler, so she's able to get Tyler as well. And she has 5 people, so... And they convince Eva. Heather asks Eva which one of the Bash she wants to get rid of. She says she wants to get rid of Bridget, because for some reason Eva doesn't like Bridget. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Heather accepts, and in the end, they vote off Bridget. Episode 16 is where Heather originally kisses Trent. This would still work. So let me explain why I don't think she would go for Lindsay or Tyler. I think Tyler is too loyal to Lindsay, and I think Trent's more of a gullible person, and Tyler's a gentleman like we saw in Greece. Izzy's with Owen, and Owen's obviously with Izzy. So in the end, Trent gets kissed by Heather, and he ends up getting eliminated. Episode 17 is where they have to do... This is where Jeff and Ezekiel manage to get Owen and Tyler and decide to make them into Guys Alliance. They're being outnumbered by the girls, and this carries on and end up getting sent home. Jeff takes charge in this scenario. In the end, Heather realizes there's a couple. Eva has the best hiding spot and races to the end, so she wins immunity. Heather calls out Owen on the roof, and in the end, this is their alliance. She asks which one of these should we get rid of. She wants to get rid of Tyler, which Lindsay freaks out. She only has 4 votes, but she tells Lindsay actually to vote for Owen, and she tells the other 4 vote for Tyler, so it's 4 for Tyler, 1 for Owen. Gwen votes for Izzy. She votes Lindsay up. The Guys Alliance say that they need to vote off a strong player, so they actually, these 4 vote for Izzy. These 4 vote for Tyler. Gwen votes for Tyler because she realizes that there's a couple. The Guys Alliance are able to convince Gwen to vote for... The Guys Alliance have Izzy. Izzy can flip though. And they decide to vote for Izzy, which Owen reluctantly doesn't want to do. So these three vote for Izzy. Owen votes for Sadie. They get Gwen, so she votes for Izzy, that's 4. These 4 vote for Tyler. Owen votes for Gwen. I gotta think about this. So Tyler and the Guys Alliance want to target Sadie. So obviously the guys vote for Sadie. Gwen votes for Sadie. Heather, Eva, and Izzy, though, they vote for Tyler. And Lindsay votes for Sadie, which means Sadie gets sent home. So Sadie is eliminated. Episode 18 is the bike challenge, and they have to all make bikes. Izzy would still go off the entire episode by herself. So up here just means they've failed the first round, and up here is when they passed. Lindsay was very good at this originally, so I expected to be quite good here. Jeff, he wipes out, forgets the bolts. Gwen still wipes out. Zeke would wipe out. And Owen wipes out. Owen crashes into Tyler, which means him and Tyler would wipe out. It's between Lindsay, Eva, and Heather. Eva was a machine, so she makes it to the end. Heather still tricks Lindsay, means Lindsay would still go home at the end of this episode. Episode 19 is Hook, Line, Screamer, and this was where it gets a bit harder because we don't know who exactly how it would go. Izzy and Owen are still in the woods like the original, so they get caught after Owen throws her in the bush. Gwen still is horror-themed survivalist, and Eva would listen in Ezekiel. Tyler would probably stay with the group as well, which means Jeff would never go by himself, so he wouldn't go to the bathroom. Heather gets caught, meaning that everybody else would probably be together. So this is a bit tough now, because who get what immunity? Gwen still wins immunity. Jeff would still get taken after being tripped by ice cream. I think Tyler, it wouldn't take much for Tyler to get caught, and neither would Eva. Eva's quite a machine, so she wouldn't get caught, and Ezekiel probably not. So this means that we would have to have a traditional vote, because nobody would have performed at. People can run away scared, but I don't think we would have performed as badly as DJ. The answer is no. I think now we'd have to have a traditional vote. So Gwen and Eva are immune, just so all bases are covered. But the Guys Alliance are still intact. And Heather has Izzy and Eva. So they decide to target the former Kill Bass, which is Ezekiel, Tyler, and Jeff. They decide they're going to target Jeff because he easily had the worst death. Gwen's okay with that, so she decides that these 5 end up voting for Heather, as Eva has immunity. So Heather, Jeff has easily the worst deaths is the reason why. This is a tough episode because I have to account for people that wasn't here originally. I want to say it's Jeff probably gets eliminated here. The reason why is Chris said in canon that he had the worst death and would have definitely gone home. So I think these 3 vote for Jeff, these 4, the Guys Alliance vote for Heather, Gwen votes for Heather, so Heather actually gets sent home. Episode 20 is where they have to do Wakanda Gone Wild. Owen and Izzy are the last couple. Izzy wouldn't shoot Heather this time. I think Eva probably wins immunity, but the meal is the prize. Everyone realizes Eva's too much big of a threat, and the Guys Alliance stick together to vote Eva off. Episode 21 is where they have to do Travis Triathlon, so it's still Gwen and Jeff. Owen and Ezekiel, and that leaves Tyler and Izzy. The first part is force feeding your partner. I think Owen and Ezekiel winning that challenge. The second part is working a tiki statue. In the end, the Guys Alliance, Gwen and Jeff. Finally, it's putting the statue pieces together, so it's between Gwen, Jeff, Ezekiel, Owen, Tyler, and Izzy. Now, I think Izzy and Tyler could realistically win this, because Tyler's a bit like a Duncan in a sense. And I think Izzy's very smart, so she'd actually be able to win. But they think it's a popularity contest, so do they get rid of Jeff here? My answer is no. I think Ezekiel realizes there's a couple in the game. They decide that these 4 target Owen as he's more popular than Izzy, and in the end, Owen's eliminated. The reason why is Owen is the last member of a couple, so there's no more couples in the game. Episode 22 is where LaShawn usually goes, so I have to consider who's the most popular person. I think Bridget would say she missed Jeff. Everyone would call Jeff. So don't say Jeff, I want to keep Jeff in the game. In the end, Jeff gets eliminated. Episode 23 is where we have Camp Castaways. Obviously, Camp Castaways will be a bit different. There's no Mr. Coconut, but it's a non-elimination. Episode 24 is where they have to do Are We There Yeti? So Ezekiel and Tyler and Izzy and Gwen. It's a race to the end. It's very, very close. And The guys originally have a map, but Izzy's really smart in the woods, so I think her and Gwen win the challenge. In the end, though, it's between Ezekiel and Tyler, and don't worry, guys, Tyler will get his What If He Won video, and because of this video, Tyler gets voted off 4th. Episode 25 is where they have to do Are We There Yeti? Gwen decides to team up with Ezekiel, as Izzy would be such a bad character to face in the finale. It's very close. Ezekiel manages to go through pain and torture, dare after dare thrown at him, and 3rd place is Gwen. Episode 25 is finally the race at the end. It's very, very close. They're all supportive with their friends, the supporters. Courtney's with probably Ezekiel. Noah's with Ezekiel. Justin's with Gwen. Gwen. Oh no, Zeke. Gwen. Zeke. Gwen. Don't know why I was thinking Ezekiel for Trent. Gwen. Zeke. Yeah, Zeke. Gwen. Zeke. As the guys' lines. I kind of respect Ezekiel. So it's very close to the end. In the end, Ezekiel narrowly gets the win after racing against Izzy, and he's able to win Total Drama Island. So this is how Ezekiel could have won Total Drama Island. This is the elimination order and how I think the season would have gone if Ezekiel won Total Drama Island. I will make this into a series. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. And the next What If video for a character, How to Win, is one of my favorite characters along with Ezekiel, Eva. And yeah, peace for all.